Hey YouTube, this is Kevin, subscribe to your channel. I'm back with another Idolm ster Million Live deck profile. This is Shooting Stars and Multi Fantasia. I'm using mostly blue, but there's a splash of yellow for the main colors. Red is mostly at level 0. So this is more of the mainstream build that Japan is using a little bit more frequently with the Shiho level 3 that turns off backups and events, which is really crucial in this design. I also made this a little bit more defensive than my last deck in the mid game. So yeah, we're just gonna go through it. I'm playing 3 Umi Brainstorms. I think it's the correct call in this type of build. A little bit more if you're playing macro. The Shizuka from the trial deck. This works really well with her too. She gives 1k to the center. That's probably the most important reason why I'm playing this. And she's got top self-salvage brainstorm. Really good. 3 Mirai again. Really solid. You don't have to use runners unless you really want to. Your locals actually play as runners. Then you can just make better choices, I guess. But yeah, this is probably my default plussing I want to do here. 1 drop search Hibiki, really solid. 1 Yukiho runner, so it's kind of like a runner that's not free. What she does is she just goes to the back row. Since you're trying to build up some card advantage, just attacking your opponent, just trying to win the race. For they have to be a little preemptive of using their level 1 things, so you can just capitalize and go into them with your own place. That's pretty much the gist of this one for like trilings and shit. 1 Minako. As before, I'm using a level 3 as the experience, so you can do that with this. 2 Anna. I dropped her to 2 because I don't want to see her too much in the mid game. If you see her early, then great. You have more things to salvage for with your Umis. Also, I'm playing flower stands, so you don't have to rely on the random search or random selection that you get from the mill 3. So less use, but you still need yellow in this deck. So one of the most important cards in this deck is the Bonder to the flower stand Rika. She also gains 15 when she's played. She loses it after that. It's a discard up to, so pretty solid. 2 Rio, as before, really good. Utility, I got some level 0s you want to play in the back row, so if you mill them out, great. It's a free plus. But you just want to use her reversed ability where she milled 2. 1 Roko as a little preference here. I'm playing more defensive. So for level 1, I'm committed to Sumugi. SPs, I don't know. If you have another preference, then fine, you can use it. If your meta walls at level 1, like consistently, then this is obviously not the best choice. But my locals, they don't. Like, it's like half and half. I try to like stay at level 0 as long as possible, and then just try to hit them with this when they're fielding mildly weak level 1s. Either that, or I want them to rush me so I can get some free farm. So that's the gist of it. I'm running 2 Rio. I dropped her to 2 because kind of like I just need more space in the build. She's still a great card. What you can do, or what I said before and previously, you can use act abilities or startups to proc her off consistently. She's great in the center too, if you don't have Sumugi in the center for some reason. And then with the flower stands, they can just reoccur. So you don't have to keep them if you don't have to, or if you don't want to. So I'm running 2 Emily's like before. Backups are good. 1 Shiho, Shimikaze Kaikon. She just scales really well. And you're rarely losing your back row either, or replacing them, so like it's a really good one-of if you need to step over something that's just really annoying at any point of the game. And then 1 Reika for the Global 500. If you still don't have any back row, this is like one of the brainstorms, alternative brainstorms I have, and just draw ditch in a compressed, and your second deck is just really solid. Playing 3 flower stands. That's how I like it, with a 2 to 3 ratio with the bonder to this. Since it's more important than, let's just say I play 2-2 in Sinfu gear, it's just really quintessential in the deck, where you need to do at least once or twice a game consistently. So for level 2s, I'm playing 1 Iori back row. We do have an early play in this deck. If you see flower stands, then it's a dead giveaway. Shizuka 2-1, really solid. Gets really big. 1 Shiho 2-1, bottom deck. We play also, she synergizes off the flower stands. 1 refresher again. She's just really solid. If you know your opponent doesn't have the stock wash, if their set doesn't have the stock wash, she's really solid. Even then, if your opponent doesn't know what's going into your stock by you blind stocking, then like you try to bait them, or that's kind of relevant if you want them to stock wash you. But back to this card, she saves you late in the game if you know you're out a lot, and you kind of are really compressed already with the stock you can build up here. So, you know, she's a really good option. Alright, so for level 3s, playing the main card of the deck, Shiho. Level 3, she gains the ability of you pick a lane or your opponent. They can't play backups or events when you draw 1 and all that. And then with the climax combo with the shooting stars, she gains the ability of taking 3 cards from your opponents when you put them back in the deck. She gains 2k. Playing 3 Sirika. This is kind of like some players don't like her for the sake of she's just like a 9/5 and possibly a 3/1 9/5, but you know she might not get over much if you don't have the cards to buffer. So this is kind of like a fringe case if your opponent can play around her, but she's generally pretty good. She can be a worthwhile investment. And then lastly, I'm playing 2 Tsubasas to actually keep your characters alive when you're swinging, and like your opponent can't do backups on your Shiho lanes. So, or I mean, you can actually know if your opponent like cannot back up, or like, or pretty much they don't, or they can't save a lane, then you swing at them with this, and you give power to the lanes that they can, and you shut them off. Their backups are there, so that's a win-win for you. And yeah, she's just really solid. really happy that her and like some of the the characters I like in this deck actually meld well. And lastly, I play Multi Fantasia, and those are for Shiho stars. So like this combination of triggers is really good. It's like playing Bang Dream. Like you can possibly reoccur this with the advanced triggers, and it's just really consistent. Pretty much go and can't really go into matchups that much. Since like generality, I've explained what you can do here, and like your opponent has something may threaten you. I mean, like they just play around this, and that's okay. But I mean, everything else, like they're gonna have to just take it. I mean, there's really nothing unless they really want to kill this. I'm sure. Yeah, like your recursion is kind of solid. And just make sure you don't climax screwed, and have a really consistent deck here. So yeah, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe. If there's any mentions you like, comment down below. Anything that you want me to profile, any builds, just let me know. And yeah, see you guys next time.